relieved. And the minute I said it, I choked because I was like, how? And of course, and that's very important. I don't like to give the enemy credit for things always because he doesn't always, it's not always him. Sometimes it's us being stupid.
Yeah, and we
you
just
said
give
that.
him too much. Yeah.
We give him too much credit. But in that moment, he tried to play that. How dare you say that about your child? You're glad that he's dead. You're glad that he left you.
But that's not what you said.
But that's not what I said.
Right. That is not what you said.
That's what
And I had a
Satan
good
wants to-
friend, and that's where having good relationships and good people. You know, people say I used to be the world's worst. I can do this by myself. I don't need you. I can do this by myself. I'm better by myself. No, because in that before
That's survival.
Yeah, it is survival.
Yes, before,
that's survival.
but I was the only one protecting me.
Right.
My whole childhood, I had to
Absolutely.
protect
Yeah,
me.
that's
Through our
survival.
marriage, when my family was attacking him and his was attacking me, it was, okay, well, I'm going to take care of myself. You don't want to go against your family? That's fine. I'll bust them up by myself. It is survival.
It is.
But I had that good friend sitting there that night and said, but sometimes you ain't got to let him play with it like that. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't take you back to that dark place, and we tend to think that way. But sometimes this is just a breakthrough to get you to somewhere that you need to be.
See,
You need that real. You need that raw. And you can correct me if I said that wrong, because I know I probably left some of it out. But, yeah, that word was... And I was
It was what you
scared.
said. I remember because you said, well, now I'm going to go home and I'm going to crawl back into that dark spot.
I sure did.
Because of what I just said. And I said, or you can let it bring you the peace that it was intended to bring. You know, and then I checked on you or whatever. And, but I felt like she was scared when she said it, that she was just really going to beat up on herself and the enemy was going to twist her words. But I just felt such peace when she said that she finally, what had been dwelling on the inside had finally come out, and that it was going to make way for peace and not to bring condemnation and all those things that the enemy tries to bring on us. And I was super proud, and I understood the weight of that word, and I think we talked about that too. I understood the weight of the word relief, because there are some things that you go through or you watch somebody go through.
yeah.
And you say, and
Yeah.
I'm not prepared to pray that just yet. And I'm honest about that. I'm not prepared to pray that just yet.
Well, I know.
But in the same mind that we let that fear come and we try to prepare ourselves for this worst case scenario, because this fear has overtaken us. And we think one thing, I have to stop and like I said at the beginning, I have to remind myself, either you're God or you're not. And whatever happens, you're always going to be God. But as fast as that fear can come over us is also as fast as the Holy Spirit can tell you, I can change this.
Yeah.
I can fix this. I can change this. But you have to be prepared for whatever that may look like.
And that's true, because in our instance, when I said those words, and I think we talked about this too, when we were, and this is the difference in a husband and a wife and a mom and a dad, when we were in that room and we knew what was supposed to happen, you had dad over here praying good words and just wholeheartedly making sure nothing interceded
Right.
at all. Like nothing was stopping that boy from making it where his destination was. I don't even know how I'm saying that, but it's the truth. And meanwhile, and this is one of those where you have to be real careful about how covered you are and who you surround yourself with, because in the same instance, mom's over here and I'm taking what do you call it? I'm taking the Holy Spirit to a whole new level, and I'm just saying, hey, we're not doing this. You're going to get up out of that bed right now and you're going to walk. That's your healing. You're going to show them. And I'm even pointing at his dad. And I'm like, you're going to show him. You get up and you walk right now. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there holding him. I know he's not moving, but I'm really trying. And I'm believing what I'm saying. But you have to be really careful with that, because I believed wholeheartedly what I was saying was going to happen. And you corrected me even at dinner the other night on that too. And you said, but he did, just not in the flesh. Not like what I was seeing in my head, or I guess in my spirit, wasn't. I seen nothing that all of them seen. I didn't see any of it. But that part I did see, was I'm praying and you're going to get up out of this bed right now and you're going to walk, you know, but I knew when he opened his eyes and looked at me, and I was like,
He was tired.
yeah.
He was
And he
tired.
had the little tear.
But
and I just,
you know, and I did, and that was the first thing we did, and you know, because you know, before he you know, he went with Jesus, he first crashed, they were wanting to stop it then. And I said, no, you're going to let him fight his fight.
yeah.
At least give him a chance. Like, how can you just literally just go say, oh, that's just it?
Yeah.
No.
And knowing
And
how
so-
to pray, because I didn't know
and
how to do that.
But now, I mean, through all that stuff, I went crazy. I went spiritually crazy. And to where I literally burnt myself out. I was, because my mind said, like, I've got to get to heaven. I got to make sure that I can get there.
That's
and
really
and it
hard.
drove me
Yes.
crazy because I needed to be at the
Both of
church.
us.
I would have slept up there on the
Yeah.
stage if they'd have let me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
No,
was
I
that
completely
You have no
committed.
room for error.
And so
no
like
room for
I,
anything to
I
take
couldn't
over.
do nothing.
I completely understand.
I couldn't. I mean, I didn't want to stop, and I couldn't. I felt like, God, I need to be near you,
Right.
and I need to feel you right now. And I knew, and it's like in my mind, like I needed to be in those places where I felt God, you know, because at the moment I didn't feel what I needed to feel. I needed to be in God because I didn't want to. One, I was afraid of going the opposite direction, a direction that I'd been before.
Right.
And you know, that familiar territory, you're like, nope, if I go there, I'm done.
Right.
And so it got pretty scary.
Yeah.
I was running rapid, and then we went to the St. Louis resort, and it was, and you know, and I'm gassed. I was trying to relax, but I couldn't. You know, my mind was still on the whole, you know, thing. And we're sitting in Golden Corral right there on the, and this man, big older black man, oh man,
Scared the
I'm gonna
crap
tell you
out of me when
something.
he walked up to our
you
table.
ever been somewhere and you're like, I hope he's on my side?
Yes.
Okay, so like this, but anyway, he laid his hand on my shoulder like that. He said, son, he said, I know you don't know me from Adam, but God told me to tell you that you're doing a good job.
Wow.
Holy. And you can breathe and take
You
a
just
deep
need to
breath
take a deep breath.
and relax. God is in control, and He's telling you you're okay.
I
Everything
literally
is
watched
okay.
him just melt.
That door is open for you when you're ready.
Wow.
And
It was like you don't have to take care of all of them.
I mean, it was just like, you know, it's like I just melted in that floor, you know, and so, you know, and I was relaxed at that moment. Okay. So the hard part about God knowing you so well
Yeah.
is the fact that Satan knows you just as well. And, you know, he's very patient. And see, I let that guard, and I did let a guard down. And I got relaxed, and I got calm, like everything's gonna be okay. I know all this is good. And then all of a sudden, you know, now I'm kind of I got a little vulnerable. And so, you know, he knows he knows what to do. He knows what to antagonize you with. And he knows just what to use.
But he wouldn't do it if he wasn't threatened by
That's
testimony.
right there.
Exactly. So all these little things started kind of coming right back into play, and you know, these what ifs, and then the anger, and then the whole process of. So I started dealing with these demonic spirits.
Yeah.
I was coming home one day from hauling fly ash. Well, I was coming home with a load of coming back from Mission. Went to Mission, Texas, with a fly ash, and I was coming back, and it's, you know, fly ash is the dry bulk tank. So I was coming back to the yard, and at this time I had to pull over and stop because everything that I'd seen in the hospital was like all over the windshield. Like it covered my windshield, and I couldn't see. And so and in the vision that I saw was everyone was still gathered, holding hands, and I'm telling you, this is fixing to get real, okay? Just brace.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so everybody's holding hands around the bed, and my son's cut open, his arms, his legs, and his chest, and everything, and then
That's not
what
visuals,
I
that's
saw,
Right.
but what I saw was transfigured faces looking at me with razor-looking teeth, and they were just laughing.
Laughing at you.
They were laughing at me and just staring at me, laughing like, ha 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 ha!
Yeah.
I got it.
We won.
We won.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
No.
But and so I called, and I'm like, hey, I'm scared. I mean, I like the law. I mean, in a truck.
Yeah.
So I was able to get over to the side.
Wasn't the first time this
And I got filled, and I stopped, and it's happened to me a few more times. And then finally, Psalm 91 has become
Yeah.
that's my battle cry.
war verse.
And
Right.
And so we're trying to fight through that and do that, and it led to some pretty intense moments between it, and I'm telling you, when I say God saved my life, and it wasn't from the devil, it was from myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One day I ended up, I nearly took my life. I couldn't deal with it no more.
Mhm.
I got in that vulnerable state. I couldn't deal with it no more. So I went out and, I'm sorry. The devil tells you it's not going to hurt. You feel pain. You'll be all right. Yeah. There's nothing more scary than to hear a click and nothing happen. And then it's like I felt something holding my hand. And I'm the only one out here.
Right.
And so I started talking to God again. Started having that conversation again. And started feeling a little better. Started feeling a little stronger. Stood up, walked around. Yeah. I turned, and there was a turtle laying there. And they said they were like, I shot the turtle with the same gun. I'm being real. I've had that happen
Right.
with the same exact. I'm gonna tell you something. God was holding my hand,
Absolutely. There's no doubt.
and I was literally giving myself into what the devil wanted. He wanted to stop me right then. The devil tried to kill me,
Mhm.
and he tried to use me to do it.
But
But
that's why it's important to listen. Also, to you have people surrounding you that know how to pray. But if you're that friend,
mhm.
you don't be afraid to reach out. It doesn't matter if
And-
there's an awkward silence
'cause-
or you don't know what to say, because those moments count.
And really praying.
I didn't know what
But-
to say
you see,
as a wife.
I believe I'm still here on this earth many years now because somebody prayed for me.
Absolutely.
And it's through all those times, and I know my mama did many times. She, even through all the hardships that she went through and the things we didn't see eye to eye with, but anyway, she still found that time to pray for me.
Right.
I know my grandmama's prayed for me. I know somebody prayed for me.
Absolutely.
And so now I'm like, and I've even posted this before. If somebody's going through something, don't just say, I'm praying for you. Actually pray for them.
Yeah. Stop right then and there.
Because it's, I pray for you here lately has just been like a comfort phrase.
Yeah. It's
Yes,
just it's
100%.
so nonchalant.
It's
We
like,
use it so
okay, when you say,
flippantly.
are you really praying?
Yeah, we use it so flippantly, and God takes that serious. When you tell somebody that you're going to pray for them,
Yeah.
and you don't, you have just lied, and you have lied on behalf of God.
Yeah.
Like,
And their feelings are not always from the devil either. It's realistic. It's life.
right?
It's
Absolutely.
It's
Yes.
just, I'm going to make you feel better just by saying, I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
I really do it, man.
Yeah,
Because I've
do
said
it.
that in the back of my mind when somebody says, I'm going to pray
'Cause
for
prayer
you. I've
does
walked up and been
work.
like, are you really? Are you
Yeah,
going to
are
pray
you
for
really?
me?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you
And
do,
it doesn't, but it doesn't even have to be like, I mean, every person that I see on the side of the road, whether they're changing a flat, whether they're whatever it is, I mean, as soon as I pass by, I'm like, Jesus be with them, send them whatever help
Yes.
they need, cover them in protection, and then I just go on about my way. So it doesn't have to be these long drawn
Drawn
out. Now,
out.
sometimes it does. Sometimes we do have to get in there and we have to, we have to do warfare and we have to pray on behalf. We have to stand in the gap. But there again, just that second of just lifting up somebody's name and just saying a prayer for them can change
Yeah.
things.
God had convicted
Prayer
me
does
of that
change
not so
things.
long ago,
And no-
about that specifically.
Yeah.
I've had 5 or 6 instances. James, Henry, Kayla, where they'll send hey, will you please be praying for us? Well, I'm just well, yeah, I'm gonna pray for you, and then immediately, no, you better stop and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So just stop, hit the record button, and like in the message, hit the record button, say the prayer, and send it, or type it out and send it to them like right then.
Right,
Yeah.
Yes, I prayed for you. Here it is.
right.
And I say but that is something that's really been on my heart a lot here lately about following through with that.
Well, see, that's one thing I believe that a lot of church has messed up so much is when they take prayer out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And, I'm talking about real raw prayer.
Yeah.
And
At the front.
Well,
And not just
Come up here.
I mean, even like, okay, I'll be
Or-
realistic. When they took the altars out of the
Yeah.
churches,
Right. When
I'm-
when
I
I,
mean,
grew up, there was
Dude.
just prayer meetings.
Prayer.
There was prayer services. There was, you're going to come in on Monday night and you're going to lay there and bobby pins are going to fly and hair's going to look crazy and you're going to pray until something changes.
Yes.
I heard, and I'm not advocating for Greek Orthodoxy here at all. I do think that there's a lot of some staples there, but I heard a Greek Orthodoxy priest say, "What do you expect when you remove the altar and replace it with a stage?" And I was like,
Come on.
"Holy smokes!"
I mean, you're giving God, you're laying your sacrifice right here.
Right.
Like, I'm giving all of me to you. But to see, the thing is a lot of people, they'll get up and they'll just scoop all that up and put it back in their pocket and leave.
It's because you've been, me personally,
You
it's
get
because
back
we've
up,
always
just
been
don't leave
told
it
that
there.
you can pray anywhere. And
Well,
yes,
yeah,
that is
yeah,
true.
Absolutely.
But my most humbling, I think, would be getting up and walking to an altar.
Right, and having
just laying
corporate
it
prayer
down.
and
Yes.
people that can
Exactly.
surround
Like,
you
I
while
think
you're
prayer
praying.
back in,
And
Yeah.
and who cares if you don't get to preach because people prayed all day? Like that's probably best. You probably need to keep your mouth shut anyway.
Right.
Let people.
Yes.
Like
let
coming to
people talk
Jesus,
to
let
God,
them go.
let
Hey,
them-
I've
let
been
them
in
have their
services
moments.
where people would be praying and they'd still be going on the service. Hey, you just
Yeah,
go
you're not
and
supposed to
pray.
stop me.
The service is still going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And and there's been times that the service would be going, the preacher would be up there speaking a message, and somebody's down there just
Absolutely.
still, hey, let it happen.
I've laid there
Let
on
God
my
move.
face
Let
and
God
gotten up
work.
and didn't even know it was almost time to leave.
Listen,
because
our
I
church-
have laid there for so long.
Our church does that on like 2 Tuesdays a month where it's prayer service. And the first time we went, I sat down and I was like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, what is this? And Jeremy looked at me and he was like, you just go find a place to pray. And I was
Right.
like, pray about what? And he was like, anything.
Right.
And then literally when they turned the lights down, I looked around like the pastor's he's flat on his face on the floor, sobbing and praying. And and then people are just in different places on the stage or
Right.
on the steps or I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's a real prayer.
Yes. And it
Right.
was, but it was
Prayer
so
is-
intimate because you're
yeah.
surrounded by all these people that are praying different things.
Right.
And over different seasons of their life, I guess. But I was lost at first. I was like, what is this? But it was so intimate whenever I just finally was like, okay, you get away from me and you get away from me and I'm just going to go over here. And then I just sat there and I was like, I have no clue what I'm supposed to talk to you about right now. And then before I realized I was just puking stuff out and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So this is what it's about. But I really, yes, that needs to definitely happen. I love
Well, and
it.
that's what, I mean, that's what the Bible says, that Jesus said, my house will be a house of prayer. Where is that?
And
Where is
bring it back, man.
back.
Somebody got,
Right.
it's just, it take, and in that, and, and churches quit trying to change people instead of letting God change people.
Right.
Pastor
Pastor Jack used to
I've
tell
been-
us all the time, it's our job to catch the fish. It's God's job to clean them.
Yes. It's just like I've been in services where somebody come in a certain way and they, and they would quietly go, and next thing you know, you see the person walking then back out the door and like, that's probably the last time he'd ever come back to church.
Absolutely. Or how many people keep coming and there's not any change. And there's
Exactly.
not any change. And then, and they're there. I know they're there. But they
Yeah.
keep coming and they're looking for that change. And then, they're not getting the opportunity to, yes, Jesus can forgive you anywhere. You could be at the grocery store and have an encounter. And
They're not given the
forgive you
boldness.
But right.
And say, hey, it's me.
Or to have the strong men around them
Yes.
to help them, or to have the women around them that know what that brokenness and that hurt and that rejection and all those things, they know what that feels like, and to have that support. And so how long is it going to be before they quit coming through
Yeah.
the door?
Yeah.
Not long.
It all goes back to relationship.
I just choose Christ over religion.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's because religion is and it is, gosh, Lee, it's grown. Like there's more religion to the religion that we've already taught. Man,
One
like
of my biggest pet peeves right now is hearing them say, "Well, we had this many people saved this week or this month or whatever." And I'm just like, I talk about it all the
Keaton
time.
Camp.
There was a documentary I watched several times now. There's two series, two parts to it. It's called Sheep Among Wolves. It's about the church in Iraq and the church in China. And the one talks about church in Iraq and Iran and what they have to lose. And their way to disciple there and bring people to Christ is they enter a relationship with that individual, and they may minister to them for 6 months or a year, never mention the word of Christ, never mention Scripture. It is simply building a relationship, learning what they're going through, understanding the circumstances in their life, and praying that God open the door. And they will testify that when he does open the door,
They're ready.
then they bring it to him. But at that point, there's such a deep relationship there that it's a meaningful change.
Right.
And I think one of the most reckless things we can do as Christians or as believers is immediately take somebody, oh, you're hurt, you're feeling the emotion of today, let's get you saved. We're going to schedule for baptism in the next 2 or 3 weeks, where the Scripture clearly says that you cast out the evil spirit. He roams around, comes back, finds the house empty, comes back with 7 other spirits greater and more evil than him. And, we rush people through that process, and then there's no way to disciple. There's no structure there to disciple. I don't know what the answer is, somewhere in the middle, but I do know that it all comes to relationship.
Right.
And, I'll be the first to say, and I don't mean this to come across any certain type of way, but Sonoma's had a lot deeper relationship with y'all than I have over the years. And it's
'cause you're
not,
never home.
it's not because
You're never home and you're always on the phone.
on the road again.
it's not because I don't care for y'all.
Yeah.
But I will say that this conversation has brought so much more respect for both of you. Not to say that I didn't respect you before, but I'm just telling you, there's so much more depth of character than I ever realized. There's so much more respect I have for both of you, what you've been through, and how you've overcome things. The fact that you're real and raw, and that you continue to show up and do the hard thing and press through and process the emotion.
Yeah.
And I have to commend you as a man You've done an
Appreciate it.
amazing job as a
Appreciate it.
husband and father for your family and for your wife, and in ways I don't think I could possibly do. And I don't think you get enough credit for that, Jeremy.
Nope.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I really don't. I don't think that people in your world understand how you held it together.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you've been able to share a part of this story today. And we took one layer of the onion off. Like I said, Sonoma hit the nail on the head. This is, y'all have got layers upon layers upon
Yes.
layers. And my hope is that this medium or other mediums give you an opportunity to unpack some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And-
you know, there is somebody out there that needs to hear it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I think there's a lot more
There
that
is a
y'all
lot
have
more
to
that I
share,
share. It's
that
not
you're
all
still
just the
very
tragedy.
guarded
Yes.
about.
No.
Right. It's not all just the tragedy.
No,
Yeah.
I think there's so much from y'all's childhood
Mm-hmm.
that you still need to unpack.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it will be very freeing for people. And I think there's a lot in this that was very freeing for people.
Well, one thing I had to learn to do is forgive myself.
Right.
I mean, you know, we ask God for forgiveness, but at the same time, we've got to forgive ourselves.
Absolutely. Hard on ourselves.
And there's a lot that I've had to forgive myself for. And there's every day that I had to forgive myself for something,
Mm-hmm.
man. Because I mean, I fall short every single day, but I have to. God, you forgive me. But I got to forgive myself at the same time.
Right.
And you know, the whole thing with, you know, yesterday is dead and gone. The day's a new day, and don't worry about tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for tomorrow, worry about itself. That's the only thing I can do is every
That's
day,
right.
day by day.
Day by day.
You know, what I said yesterday, it's not in today.
Right.
That was yesterday. That's old news. You know, what happened yesterday, that's not today.
Don't look at me.
That's just,
Say that.
it's old news. Like, you know, and learning how to really try to, you know, put those things behind you. Because
And
say, the
press
thing
forward.
about it is when you give something to God, it's His.
Right.
It no longer belongs to you. You got to let go of it and let Him have it.
Right.
Because if you're still trying to hang on to this something, it's going to eat you up.
Yeah, it is.
Because He's saying, "Hey, let go, let go." You know, if you like give it, you know what I mean? and then, like you have to let go at these things, and I mean, you can harp on things. You can let it just hold on to you.
But what
Right.
good is that? What good is coming from that?
It breaks you down.
Right.
Yeah.
It weighs you down.
Right. That's why I have to get into the word and let the word edify.
And you know, it's like, you know, taking His yoke upon you.
Right.
And you know, you think about a yoke and how you're pulling a weight.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad said it before. You know, sometimes you can be a one mule hooked to too many wagons.
Right.
And you know, you hook. I mean, it's like everything has its what it is. You know, you gotta, when you give it to Jesus, when you give it to God, and you turn it over, you're not tied to nothing.
No.
You're not tied to anything.
Mm-mm.
So every day you have to live. It's a brand new day,
Right.
and just live for that day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we make plans. I mean, that's just human nature.
yeah,
we
we live
got
in this
plans.
world. Yeah,
We got things we're
absolutely.
trying to get to and accomplish.
Right.
But until we get to that moment, I need to do this every day, and it's very hard for me,
Mhm.
especially, you know, driving a truck. Because I'm telling you, driving is I'm good at it, but it's not me. It's the others.
Yeah, you have to watch out for me.
You know,
Exactly.
he's talking about, you
I'm
know,
sure they say the
learning
same thing about you.
learning patience.
Right.
I think the patience part is really got me whooped right now on the, yeah.
Amen. Well, what's the Facebook page that y'all have, just so people can find that?
It's hashtag Bubba Strong. There are a few of them, but his in particular has his picture on it. Like, they'll know. People have shared pictures. They've shared videos. There's actually videos on there when we were in the hospital. Like, there's a daily video for, I want to say, every day except for the day of. And then there's a few after. And we have talked a lot here lately about going back on that page. I actually had one of our postal ladies stop in today on her little drive-thru at the cleaners, and she reminded me, and I knew that her face was familiar, but she used to work at Walmart in the I place. I can't think of the name of it, but she reminded me today that she had helped one of my girls with their glasses, and it was right after Bubba because she had asked about the Bubba Bear. So we had actually talked about, and we need to start getting back on because, you know, a lot of people were praying, a lot of people were there, and we still, like, we get a lot of prayer requests through there all the time, and we do pray with people. But there's a lot of praise to be given too, and I think people really need to see that we're not just in survival mode, you know, but we are living, and that there's still pain, there's, you know, trials with the death part of it, and, you know, our human and our flesh and things like that, but there's a lot of beauty in all of it.
Right.
There really is.
I would
There's
encourage you to
life.
start recording those videos again.
Yeah.
Just how where you're at now.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help people realize and see where you come from.
I tell you what,
I think that's
you want to talk about the journey of a lost mind? Going back on those videos, you'd see a journey of a lost mind.
That's what I'm saying. And then
I was,
to keep doing
I was
that on a fairly
so-
regular basis.
because you know because at that moment you're battling spiritually
Right.
and fleshly, and you know, and so like both sides they were not lined up. My spirit was not lined up. My flesh was not lined up with my spirit. I mean, I'm just so back and forth, you know.
But
And
thank
I
God
said,
for His grace.
and I said, one of the
Yes.
things I continue to say that he was going to tell his story.
right.
Mhm.
I believe he's done told his story,
Absolutely.
you know, and he's continuing to tell his story. I did have a dream, and it's come even after, you know, I had my appendix decided to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did have a dream, and I'll tell you, I almost didn't wake up. But he's got long
not a
hair.
joke.
He's got long, beautiful red hair, and he's got like sky, like his eyes look like clouds. And and it's like I heard his voice, and it's that familiar voice, and it's just like I wanted to fall into it,
Right.
you know. And then when you finally can, and then so anyway, you know, I still get to have these dreams. I still see this, and I see this what he looks like now, and it's different.
Yeah.
My baby's beautiful,
Beautiful.
and you know, and then there was one, yeah. It's just amazing how God can give me those things where I'm needing them the most.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And you know, I almost don't want to wake up from it. You know,
Right.
even to a point where one of them's in a house. We're in the house. We're by the lake, and this house is like just an old, the porch wrap houses.
like a
you know,
farmhouse.
two story, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. We're all together, and we're all in here, and then he's aggravating her about what can like, and then running across the pond because he can do that now, and it's just it's just those little things that keep me.
Yep.
Where you know where He's
Yeah.
at. There's no doubt in your mind.
He's just dropping them in.
Let
there,
me
keep you
know,
going.
and it's
Right.
always God's always has a way of letting me know
Yeah.
that everything is okay, that I am, that everything is good with me and him, like, and and I know that as a leader, I still have to kind of take 2 steps forward and a step back, because my step back is grabbing her hand and trying to help her
Yeah.
up with me.
Yeah.
Because I did, for that moment that I was in a panic mode. I literally just, it was.
Well, you went into survival mode for yourself.
Well, that,
You know?
yeah, I
So,
did.
yeah.
I did.
No, it's
And so, yeah.
the one thing, and I shared that, and the other day when we were eating, and I was telling her that I have so much fear about just even this particular subject, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm constantly looking at, like, okay, if I do this, and if I do this, and if I do this, I don't know if they did that, and so I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm constantly trying to figure out this formula to
Yep,
to
I do
keep
too.
safe.
How? Yeah.
And I woke up the other night in the middle of the night, and literally the words, faith is the formula.
Mm.
Faith is the formula. And I'm like, okay, faith is the formula. I'm going to stop running myself ragged, trying to make sure that I don't do something wrong and cause something to happen. Like our brain is just so crazy how we think about things. Or whatever. It does manipulate us. And but it's faith is the formula. And I'm like, okay, that's simple enough. And even in this journey, faith is the formula.
It is.
We're putting one foot in front of the other. And this is just the first stop of many that you'll have to share the story that God is allowing you to share, and the testimony that He's given you, the worship that He's allowing you to minister, and the way that you can be there to love on others in their darkest times. But it's not always going to be dark. It's not always about the darkness. Sometimes we let that overshadow, and we always about the darkness, and it's not. There's going to be so much light, and there's going to be so much beauty that you see, and that God allows you to see. The more you share, the more you open your mouth, the more that you walk towards what He has for you in your life, and you're going to see beauty for ashes. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yes, that's a great place to stop this one. Go undone.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes, I feel like
Appreciate it.
Faith is the formula.
It is.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. It wasn't that bad, was it?
no, it was awesome. Thank y'all for letting us be a part of it.
There'll be more to come. I know.
I know that y'all are going to come back.
I need therapy now.
Let me put on my therapist hat.
No, we're good.
Well, I hope everybody out there enjoyed this and got something from it.
Yeah.
And share and be sure to look them up on Facebook and follow
And reach
them.
out. Reach out to
Reach out to them and I would just encourage y'all to keep posting on that Facebook.
Absolutely.
Well,
It's a good way for y'all to get that out. So
we're always open to more if we need it.
that's right.
That's right.
Well, thank y'all all, and till next time, God bless.